Thanks for joining us on Nigeria's economy today. Can entrepreneurship be used to solve the much needed solutions to our economic problems? What is entrepreneurship in the Nigerian context? Who are the entrepreneurs? How can we use entrepreneurship to develop Nigeria's economy? Joining me in the studio is an entrepreneurship development expert, the Executive Secretary of Institute of Entrepreneur Nigeria, and the MD CEO, Megavons West African Limited. He will be leading the conversation on entrepreneurship as a panacea for Nigeria's economic development. I welcome Dr. Rotimi Oladele. Dr. Oladele, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Tunde. Quite a while.
Thank you very much for finding time to join us in this program.
Thank you.
Now, Dr. Oladele, what does entrepreneurship entails in the Nigerian context?
Well, I think Nigeria is not different from the rest of the world. Entrepreneurship per se is a strategic approach to overall economic development. It could be chosen by an individual or a nation as a lifestyle. But more importantly, it involves a lot of creativity, a lot of innovation, a lot of synergy development, and of course, a lot of value chain management. Entrepreneurship brings something tangible out of nothing. You start without anything. If it's different from business management or business development, because we are talking about creation. Take, for example, if you write a book and you want it to go to the market, then you look for a publisher that will publish it or sponsor that will do, but the entrepreneur will not do that. The entrepreneur will look at those who have the problems the book will solve, and after showing them what it is, and they want to be part of it, they will even say, okay, I want 500 copies for the purpose of my team. Then you start business. Okay. You start at zero level. Entrepreneurship starts a business at zero level without anything.
Okay, I like the fact that you mentioned start at zero level. Earlier in the show, we had an entrepreneur as our guest that came to talk to us on value addition in coconut. Now,
interesting.
The question is, how would you situate the ease of doing business in Nigeria? You said you start at zero level. How would you situate the ease of doing business in Nigeria?
The first thing I appreciate in the current government, possibly more than anything else, was the policy of ease of business, ease of doing business.
Okay.
Any nation that grows via entrepreneurship, you identify four major things. You identify curriculum that is supportive to entrepreneurship, that is entrepreneurship education, across board, even from primary level. Then you will understand there will be law that is supportive to enterprise development. You also see policies that support enterprise development. Then you will now see infrastructure that will drive enterprise development. Anywhere you have those four elements, there's what we call entrepreneurship rectangle, ready to spur positive development. Take, for example, your coconut. If you go to Philippines, that is the major product Philippines has. But if you want to follow entrepreneurship model that can work in Lagos, we'll start from the relationship between town and gown. Okay. Lasso is just under an hour travel to Badagry. The Department of Agriculture of Lasso and the coconut industry in Badagry, what are they doing together? Do we have nursery provision? Do we have supervisory services coming from the experts from the institution? Do we have research and development on coconut that are sponsored by corporate bodies who will be in turn beneficiaries of the output of that farming? All those companies manufacturing soap, oil, whatever that has to do with the 365 derivatives like he mentioned. People will take what belongs to them and sponsor. The research and development will be massive. Equipment manufacturers will be partnered with to do extraction, refinement, packaging, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of synergy that comes into entrepreneurship. Quality assurance intervention will come up. Then there will also be the need for us to be looking at what do we do to reduce importation from the 365 derivatives. And once we achieve any of those ones, there are bodies who are supposed to say, yes, we take this right for you, and we are motivating you with this. That comes now to financiers. How many banks in Nigeria that are doing agro-financing have portfolio and brand service for coconut industry? The gaps in the marketplace for that product alone is enormous. And if you can do it, you ask your questions. You have gone to Philippines where that is the major product. What percentage of the GDP of Philippines is coconut providing? Then what can we learn from it?
Okay, Doctor, you have actually talked about synergy, and as we talk about coconut, it appears that it's an extension of the value addition of coconut. Now, we are talking about entrepreneurs generally.
Yes.
Now, during this pandemic,
yes,
the COVID-19 pandemic,
yes,
there are a lot of micro, medium, and small enterprises,
yes,
that cried out that there is economic downturn, yes, and they were asking for palliatives. Yes. So what kind of palliatives now would you advocate? Well,
let me first of all start to correct an impression, especially in Nigeria. Once you mention entrepreneurship, people go to small and medium enterprises.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship cuts across. Even multinationals, conglomerates, they still need entrepreneurship. But coming to small and medium and pandemic COVID-19, the palliatives needed are so many. Ease of doing business are part of it. But there are supposed to be tax holiday, tax moratorium, supply extension, shift of repayment. There are supposed to be emergency policies from regulatory bodies that will be able to bring cushions for entrepreneurs to sit and rest their back. There are supposed to be insurance policies of short-term period that will take care of some agonies. There are supposed to be even logistic support, mere transportation. If you have 15 local governments in Lagos or 22 Lagos, I'm just citing an example in Ogun State, which government vehicles are we using to give farmers free transportation to bring cassava from inside bush farms to the city where they are going to do the process?
Okay, I understand what you have just said, but in Nigeria today,
yes,
there is massive unemployment.
Yes.
And you rightly said at the beginning that as an entrepreneur, you needed to start from the zero level.
Yes.
What is your final word of encouragement to Nigerians on how to forge ahead? And it's going to be our last question because of time.
My final advice on this note, brief as it may be, is first of all for the government to allow entrepreneurship-focused curriculum across board. People should go to school with a view to coming out to feed themselves and feed others. A primary school certificate holder should be able to contribute something to the family table. A secondary school leaver should do more by being able to employ 1 or 2 people. OND, NC, HND people should come out with a view to 70% of possibility of setting up my business and 30% of maybe I work for somebody. Working for somebody should just be a matter of for mentoring purposes and learning and then becoming a tributary to the larger industry.
Thank you, Dr. Rotimi Oladele. That is much we can take on entrepreneurship development. He has said it all. There is need for entrepreneurship-focused curriculum, even in our formal education. so that from primary, secondary, even tertiary institutions, you don't need to look for job. You'll be an employer of labor. Dr. Oladele, thank you for finding time to join us on the program. And we hope that when we call you another time, you will oblige us.
Definitely. Why not?
Yes, that is our offering today for today. The conversation continues on our social media platform. We are on Twitter, and our Twitter handle is @economy_Nigeria. We are also on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook and YouTube, we are Nigerians Economy Today. On behalf of my producer, I'd like to thank you for finding time to be with us on this program. Bye for now. God bless Nigeria.